Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. This is me, Nadia Rajpoot from DTVNN. Let me take you to the special report. Naturalize now, Houston, a path to U.S. citizenship. HEM press briefing at Houston City Hall, September 19, 2023.
Citizenship Day, to be celebrated every year here on out on September 17, is incredibly meaningful. So we are so grateful for your support and for your commitment to the community and residents of Harris County. Thank you.
Thank you. And I'm going to have to speak out because Commissioner's Court is happening right now. And so actually Toy Babineau is our resident expert on working with our immigrants. And so she'll be here for the Q&A and we'll take mine as well.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Our next speaker is Zenobia Bly, whose name is sort of synonymous with immigrant rights here in the Houston metro area. Zenobia, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Sandy. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us in this very important event to highlight the public-private partnership to make Greater Houston the citizenship capital. We can do it, and I'll explain why we can do it together. So let me talk about what is Houston Immigration Legal Services Collaborative. We were founded exactly 10 years ago to help immigrants who are eligible for deferred action for childhood arrivals to apply for deportation protection. And as you know, DACA has not been, the magic bullet that we hope that it is. So from there, we have grown our kind of service to include different kinds of immigration services. And we are very proud to be a partner with the Community Services Department to move ahead with the 3 different legal services funds so that detained immigrants who are Harris County residents will have free representation, so that the chance of winning relief or release will be 10 times better than if they go it alone. And we are very excited to be partnering with NTNA to build on a very long history of collaboration to help our immigrant members of our community to become citizens. So we know that there are lots of barriers for that prevent people from pursuing citizenship. As Harvey Michelle talked about, they're like personal considerations. But the 2 biggest barriers that are in the materials that we receive is financial and language barrier. Many people, especially if they immigrate at an older age, it's not as easy for them to acquire proficiency in English. So English proficiency is definitely one barrier. But the other barriers are financial. And I want to share a little bit about my immigration story, just a little bit. So 30 years ago, I applied for my citizenship. At the time, the application fee for the application N400 was $40. And now, as you all know, it's $725. It increased by 16% if you only look at application fees plus the $85 of biometrics fees. And then I looked at how do you kind of evaluate whether the inflation is justified, right? Looking at the federal minimum wage, in 1993 it was $4.25. It was still pretty terrible. Right now, it's $7.25. It did not increase by 16 or 18%, a fold, right? So back then, if you want to save money to pay for the N400 fees, you save $1, it takes a month and a half, it's still a long time.
In a remarkable collaborative effort, the city of Houston, Harris County, and a coalition of non-profit organizations have launched Naturalize Now Houston. This initiative aims to assist the 300,000 lawful permanent residents in the region in their journey towards U.S. citizenship. Houston Mayor Sylvester Turner emphasized the importance of citizenship, highlighting the significant contributions made by lawful permanent residents to the city's cultural diversity and economic growth. He proudly announced the partnership with National Partnership for New Americans, Houston Endowment, and Harris County to promote U.S. citizenship. thereby enhancing unity and prosperity in Houston.
In your materials. So collectively, we can do it. Public-private partnership, with national partnership, with media friends. We can make this happen. Not overnight, but we can definitely make this happen. Invite our members in the community. Join the Superhero League. We can make it happen. So thank you very much for joining us, and thank you for spreading the news.
Thank you so much. I should have referenced the Superhero Elite. We have an essay by Mr. Grimadou in your packets, and also one by our other first-person storyteller. Let me go now to Diana Itza with the very important Mi Familia Vota agency. She is the manager of Texas programs for Mi Familia Vota.
Thank you, Ms. Sandy. Thank you everybody for being here and for having all of us talking about such an important topic here in our city. My mother came to this country in 1992, and she became a legal resident of the United States in 1997, I believe. It took her about 12 years to even think about citizenship. I remember it was in 2010 or 11 when she started having that conversation with us as a family. Why? Because, like mentioned here, there were barriers that were stopping that, such as the English language barrier, the financial barrier, but also just the fact that for a lot of the people in our communities, they don't even know where to start with citizenship. A lot of the times they think that they have to go to a lawyer and pay big fees, and that it's going to take a long process, and a lot of the times they're very misinformed about the process. So it is why Mi Familia Vota and all of the partner organizations that are going to join in this force, along with the city of Houston, is going to be crucial for this movement. Mi Familia Vota especially, I want to be able to really emphasize the importance of our community navigators. Mi Familia Vota will start a community navigators program in which we will stipend a lot of the leaders and the volunteers that we already work with to be able to carry this work. With these community navigators, they will be able to go to different parts of Houston and really tell and inform the community, the residents that are eligible for naturalization, about the services that are here and offered to them. Again, to be able to tackle down those barriers that a lot of us face, that a lot of our community members face. And I think at the end of the day, this is going to lead for the movement and really start seeing a lot of the people becoming citizens. And at the end of the day, really boosting our economy, because we have seen from data that whenever our community members become citizens, we boost our economy. Not only do we boost our self-income, but we are able to also be participants of our democracy, right? At Mi Familia Vota, we also really aim to increasing that Latino political power, and obviously being a citizen is going to really help that. And for the community navigators, again, going back, emphasizing on the community navigators, we always like to develop the people that we work with, and for them to be out there speaking to our community and informing our community, we are also giving them professional development opportunities, right? So it's a win-win for everyone. We're informing the people around us, and they're also gaining knowledge and growing in their profession, and also perhaps even staying with organizations and becoming staff. I know that I have heard stories yesterday of people here on staff at NPNA who started as community navigators. But all in all, I just want to close this off by saying that it is important to be able to join this force. Mi Familia Vota will really emphasize the importance of community navigators to inform our members out there, and for stories like my mother's to not be as repetitive as we see. It shouldn't take an eligible resident to become a citizen 10 years to think about because of the fear or because of the financial burden or because of the English language barrier. They should be able, as soon as they're able to file for naturalization, they should be able to do it without those barriers to think about. So I know together we will make it happen.
There are so many questions as a journalist that personal stories raise, like what finally prompted your mom to decide. All of these, we hope that there will be time, not just in the Q&A, but after, when we break for lunch, when people have a chance to do one-on-one interviews. We now go to Terrence O'Neill, Division.
On September 19, following the national observance on September 17, Mayor Turner proclaimed Citizenship Day in Houston. Meanwhile, Harris County had already celebrated this day on August 29 with a resolution showing their commitment to supporting aspiring American citizens.
And my dad passed away. He died in 2021. He passed in 2021. And he helped me realize that, like, as if it was a question mark in my head, what was I doing? Like, it was just being here, working, and I wasn't accomplishing anything. Like, I wasn't doing anything for my family, like that was concrete. And I started asking myself questions. I started as a believer, as a Christian.
Houston Endowment has provided a generous $2.13 million grant to NPNA to bolster and expand naturalization programming. Additionally, they have allocated $1.65 million for the Give Citizenship a Boost program, which covers application fees for eligible immigrants, led by the Houston Immigration Legal Services Collaborative.
Citizenship Day, to be celebrated every year here on September 17, is incredibly meaningful. So we are so grateful for your support and for your commitment to the community and residents of Harris County. Thank you.
Thank you. And I'm going to have to speak out because Commissioner's Court is happening right now. And so actually Toy Babineau is our resident expert on working with our immigrants. And so she'll be here for the Q&A and we'll take mine as well.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Our next speaker is Zenobia Lai, whose name is sort of synonymous with immigrant rights here in the Houston metro area. Zenobia, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Sandy. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us in this very important event to highlight the public-private partnership to make Greater Houston the citizenship capital. We can do it, and I'll explain why we can do it together. So let me talk about what is Houston Immigration Legal Services Collaborative. We were founded exactly 10 years ago to help immigrants who are eligible for deferred action for childhood arrivals to apply for deportation protection. And as you know, DACA has not been, the magic bullet that we hope that it is. So from there, we have grown our kind of service to include different kinds of immigration services. And we are very proud to be a partner with the county Community Services Department to move ahead with the 3 different legal services fund so that detained immigrants who are Harris County residents will have free representation, so that the chance of winning relief or release will be 10 times better than if they go it alone. And we are very excited to be partnering with NPNA to build on a very long history of collaboration to help our immigrant members of our community to become citizens. So we know that there are lots of barriers for that prevent people from pursuing citizenship. As Harvey Michelle talked about, they're like personal considerations. But the 2 biggest barriers that are in the materials that we receive is financial and language barrier. Many people, especially if they immigrate at an older age, it's not as easy for them to acquire proficiency in English. So English proficiency is definitely one barrier. But the other barriers are financial. And I want to share a little bit about my immigration story, just a little bit. So 30 years ago, I applied for my citizenship. At the time, the application fee for the application N400 was $40. And now, as you all know, it's $725. It increased by 16% if you only look at application fees plus the $85 of biometrics fees. And then I looked at how do you kind of evaluate whether the inflation is justified, right? Looking at the federal minimum wage, in 1993 it was $4.25. It was still pretty terrible. Right now it's $7.25. It did not increase by 16 or 18%. I mean a fold, right? So back then, if you want to save money to pay for the N400 fees, you save $1. It takes a month and a half. It's still a long time, but
In B, Chen, president and CEO of Houston Endowment, stressed the importance of equipping legal permanent residents with the resources needed to become active participants in the community. She recognized the rich diversity brought by 300,000 legal permanent residents and their potential to strengthen the region. Harvey Mitchell Jackson, a recent U.S. citizen originally from the Central African Republic, compared becoming a citizen to joining the Justice League, emphasizing the unity of American nation under God. Through Naturalize Now Houston, NPNA will train teams of citizenship community navigators collaborating with local partners to lead eligible to naturalize individuals across the greater Houston area. These navigators, often with personal naturalization experiences, assist community members in overcoming language barriers, navigating the process, and accessing low-cost legal services and financial aid for application fees. Nicole Melaku, Executive Director of NPNA, emphasized the commitment to ensuring no one is excluded from participating in democracy due to financial constraints. Zenobia Loy, Executive Director of Houston Immigration Legal Services Collaborative, highlighted the Give Citizenship a Boost project's role in making citizenship attainable for all.
3 weeks.
Yeah.
How can one stop such a wonderful story? That is wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And that is very much what this briefing is about. Our next speaker is Tao Costas, who's the Executive Director of the Harris County Community Services Department. Thank you, Ms. Costas.
Thank you so much for having me here today. I think that, we are aligned, many of us, with our immigrant stories and naturalization stories, so I won't go into mine, but I just want to say that I think Houston, Harris County is such an incredible community. I've been in here since 1975, and as Michelle alluded to, it is all of us coming together. For 30 years in my career was spent in the homeless side, and how Houston has become a model on significantly reducing homelessness is because of the way the non-for-profit, the public-private sectors came together. And I think with this challenge and this goal, we can do the same. Harris County is incredible in that we have 25% of our population, and we are the third most populous county in the nation. 25% of our population are immigrants, and they make up a third of our workforce, our labor force. And so this group and what we're trying to do can be transformative. And the county is grateful to be a partner with our city and of course Houston Endowment. Again, public-private sectors and our not-for-profit organizations who come together to make great change possible. So one of the commitments that the county has already done is through our legal services to support our immigrants, helping people who are victims of crime, who are immigrants, and helping people who are facing deportation. And so now, with this opportunity, we're able to add another person to focus on naturalization and helping people build that. my department, Community Services Department, is about community. It's about strengthening our people, providing affordable housing and helping them maintain their housing, and also building up the infrastructure within our community. So the statistics and the data that you have in your packet here, it tackles many of these elements that are required for our community to strengthen. So I, again, am grateful to be here, to be part of this. Our commissioners and our judge, our county judge, are super supportive of this effort and this community. And we brought 2 proclamations, one from the county judge and one from our commissioner, Adrian Garcia, because again, they believe in this. And so I'm grateful to be part of this and to be part of this effort.
Thank you. Do you
To further the cause, the organizations are working closely with the City of Houston and Harris County to hire officials in each office to promote citizenship initiatives aligning with resolutions passed earlier. Diana Isa, Texas Programs Manager for My Familia Vota, expressed their dedication to assisting immigrant communities in their naturalization journey through the Citizenship Community Navigator model, aiming to reduce fears and promote the process. In Suk Min, a lawful permanent resident for 25 years, found hope in organizations like Wori Juntos, offering free counseling, citizenship application assistance, and multilingual volunteer support. She is now determined to apply for citizenship. This collective effort recognizes community-based media as trusted source of information and acknowledges the crucial role of local governments in advancing citizenship initiatives. The aim is to reach the 300,000 eligible individuals with information and support to help them become full U.S. citizens. To learn more about the initiative, visit houston.naturalizenow.organization about NPNA. The National Partnership for New Americans is a nationwide network of 66 leading immigrant and refugee rights organizations advocating for policy and promote successful integration of new Americans. NPN's mission is to advocate immigrant equity and inclusion at the state and national levels.
It's a great story. Like the Irish song is always peaceful. Always peaceful. I'm like, okay, I need to remain calm, not trying to even act crazy. Like I need to work more, make some more money, find another job. So I try to be like, what is my purpose here in America? Because I was like, I'm stuck here. I can't go anywhere. But I was looking around me, and I thought it's funny that Elon Musk in the way that, okay, he's from, many people probably don't know it, but he's from Pretoria, South Africa. And he came in here I probably don't know what he was thinking, but I knew that inside of him, he wanted to accomplish great things. Like he had a vision, not only for himself, but like for the people around him.
That's all for now. Keep watching DTVNN. Please like, subscribe, share, and comment.